It all started with she was in a bed with Drake.
Oh, well, that does it
Literally
now. God, I don't want to be in bed with Drake, okay? I wanted to talk about the Master of Nothing takeover, because we are taking over out here. And so what that means is we got to come up with fresh material all the time for you guys. We work for you. So what is the Master of Nothing takeover? Well, we want to talk about stuff that's current events, but stuff that moves us forward. Not politics a little bit, but we got Dan Bongino for that, right?
I don't even know who Dan Bongino is.
Well, anyway, I mean, if you listen to politics, you know who those guys are, but I'm not changing anybody's mind with politics, and you're not changing mine. So I got out of politics, and what I want to talk about is simulations, because I know a lot of people talk about how we might be in one, but don't know how to, break that down and make it understandable to people. But what I came up with was just a VR headset. If you're in a VR headset, when you look to the left or right, before you look, does it exist in a VR simulation?
Yeah, I remember the first time that I actually put on a VR headset, and I swear to you, Chris, the moment I took it off, I actually still thought I was in it. Like I went to go reach for something like you would in the VR when you're holding the headset or the handset, and it was the trippiest feeling. And I swear, I literally, and people are like, oh, how can you get it confused? It looks fake. Like, no, like I'm telling you, the way you move in it, and then when you take it off and you go to like reach for your door, it like tripped me up for a second. And it was a trip. But
it's a new way of learning, which is strange, but we already know how to do it. For instance, my son got this game called Monkey Tag.
I don't think I heard of that one, no.
Dude, I'm asking our producer. Have you heard of that?
No, I have not.
Okay. Dion over here, he's producing today. But what was I talking about? What was I saying?
You said something about Monkey Tag and VR.
Oh, yeah. So this game, you have to move like so good like a monkey and swing and have the right balance, right movement to swing and do tricks. And I played with him one time. He's so good, I can't keep up with him. But you get so good that you get in a room with other kids doing monkey tag, and it's the most coordinated thing. Or I felt so uncoordinated doing it, if that makes sense.
No, for sure. Well, VR is actually interesting because when I first got the headset, and you're talking about the Oculus, right? Is that the VR headset you're talking about? Yeah, because when I first got it, people say that some people buy it and they think that they can't actually use it, but it's just like what I call like VR sickness. And I remember I YouTubed it that day, like, oh, why do I feel like? I think it's because you're walking in VR, but you're not walking in real life, so it like trips your mind up.
Yeah.
But I remember watching YouTube and it said, hey, give it a practice like for 5 minutes every day, and then eventually your brain's gonna get used to it. And I didn't believe it. I wanted to return it that day, but I did that. I swear to you, after like 2-3 days, never had that feeling again, and now I can play any VR game. Really
well, you think whoever designed that game had to have known exactly how apes and monkeys move, like, because if you don't get it precisely right, you won't move in the game.
Yeah. No, what's crazy about it is that actually, I think it's the Oculus Pro and then the new Oculus coming out, is they were I watched Mark Zuckerberg with some, like, I think he was like some technology guy that talked about why VR is so hard to develop, and they're talking about like the retina of the eye and what we can really perceive in our eye. Then you're trying to put that close and in 3D in your eyeball.
Yeah, so it's all about lighting. We were talking about a green screen, and you know more about this, but why do you need so much light for a green screen? The pixels.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a trip, It's just, I mean, when the producer here, Dion, we've messed with green screens before, and it just takes a lot of lighting, and then you have to have the software to just cancel out the greens. It's just interesting. So,
well, it's all about light. So going back to the VR, when you're in virtual reality, again, it goes back to if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Well, what I'm saying is, does the tree even exist if you're not there? Now, in virtual reality, it does not. Okay.
Oh man.
Well, it doesn't.
That's a pretty
Think
good
about
thought. I didn't
it.
think
Now,
about that.
we're in a 3-dimensional space that we live in. So if you consider the ant, does he know? He's in a 2D world. When he's on a piece of paper, that's his world. He doesn't understand there's something underneath. Does that make sense?
I don't know.
Not to you.
I think I know what you're getting at, but at the same time, it's
Well, there's different dimensions what I'm getting at. VR is another dimension, okay? Where we can get out of our dimension and be in a whole new world. So those worlds, okay, consider the rainbow. It always ends in violet. Did you know that?
no, I didn't actually.
You didn't know that.
I
And it's always opposite from the sun. Did you know that as well?
No, I didn't know
When
that
you blow a
either.
bubble, like, you know, those little soap things?
Yeah.
So you see the rainbow on that, on the outside of that, what do you call it? Bubble, right?
I think so. You know what you're talking about. I don't know. I'm confused. You know.
In water, it makes a rainbow, but it's always opposite from
Okay,
the light.
okay.
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 And the last color is always violet in a rainbow. If you can see violet, but those colors actually keep going, but our eyes can't see those colors. Okay. But they exist. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of things that exist, forces that we just can't see, like gravity, which we can't even explain, right?
You know what's a trip is that you ever see that movie with Scarlett Johansson? And I don't remember what it was actually called, but she can see. Did you see that movie, Dion, at all? No, it's just, yeah, she can see all the waves from phones and cell phones and Wi-Fi. She can see all the waves, and they were saying that it's actually a reality. Like one day,
Oh, yeah.
someone's brain's gonna open up to the ability to have their eyes perceive the radio waves and sound waves that are just moving around us.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when I seen that, I was tripped out because I'm like, all that's going through our body right now. Like what?
Everything, all of it.
And
There's things going through we take for granted.
Oh man.
And did I say granted? Granted, right?
I think it's because we have this granite like table.
yeah.
Is this granite? I don't know what this is. I don't know.
It's nice though. See? But yeah, when you start thinking about that, you kind of you separate yourself from who you really. So we walk around in masks, right?
Yeah.
Funny that coronavirus, they gave everyone masks to wear, and some people loved them, and they still wear them because that's their personality now. See, they're not living their true selves. Once you break out of
Yeah.
whatever mask that you're in your life, it took me 44 years, but
You know
I
what's-
don't have
you
a
know what's
mask
crazy
anymore,
about that?
and I
There-
never got the shot either.
There was a guy at work. I was working at Dick's Sporting Goods. My wife works there still, and we had this guy. I swear to you, he acted a certain way with the mask on, and then and it took him like 2 years. Like he was one of the ones that waited like a year after the mandates to take it off.
Yeah.
But I swear, I heard him talking in the background one day, and I was like, "Who's that?" And it was him, and I was like, he's like acting like a whole different person right now. I was like, he does not seem like, so it's almost like the mask allowed
is.
him to be more
It's
comfortable.
his personality.
Or, yeah, whatever. But the mask,
It's his
kinda-
mask.
It's just
so it's a
crazy.
metaphor.
crazy.
The mask is a metaphor for who you
Yeah.
are, but who you are is not behind that mask. You gotta.
Do you think this is the same thing? Probably maybe going to go off a little bit of a deep end here, but is it the same thing when women put on makeup, or just like co-hosts on the news stations when they put on makeup? Is that what's happening? I don't know. So no, I'm serious. So about the makeup thing, it's so I seen this. You know, Bobbi Althoff, how she blew up at the past couple weeks. It's only been around like a month, and she's generated like hundreds. I don't know if it's hundreds yet, but it's pretty close to like 100 million views. So she's really.
What? What does she do?
Dude, so it's like dry comedy podcast, and she only has, check this out, she has like 8 videos total, and she has millions and millions
Is
of
she
views.
funny?
No, I don't think she is. I don't think she is, but I think it's just because so she has a very serious face and just doesn't want to seem surprised. So it's like dry humor, right?
Yeah.
But I guess it is in a sense funny. But anyways, I bring it up because I believe it was her on someone else's podcast. Could have been her own podcast. Was just talking. I think she was No, it was her podcast. She was interviewing the guy that sung that song, "See You Again." It was a long day. Like,
Anyway,
yeah.
she does comedy and what? Like, does she do her own comedy or does she recite?
No, she does her own. It's just like dry humor, and she interviews stars on her
she
podcast.
does?
They
Okay.
call it the Really Good Podcast is the name of it. But anyway, Bobbi Althoff was talking to the guy, I forget his name, who sung that song "See You Again," and he had put makeup on, and she had mentioned like, oh, do you have to put makeup on to feel like to be this person on camera? And I just thought it was just, I don't know, maybe makeup does the same thing as masks. I don't know, maybe it was a deep end conversation, but I just thought it was interesting how she brought that up, and I couldn't stop thinking about it after that. I don't know, maybe makeup does make us feel.
When she brought the makeup thing?
Yeah,
because she gets kind of what I'm getting at, and until you really step out of yourself, or no, I'm sorry, let me back up. When you look inward to yourself instead of finding something outward to either worship or chase, you'll never find out who you really are. You know, keep that mask on and keep living like a damn sheep, and you will never be. When people think about you, what do they think? When I see people with masks, I just think. So I went to Boise. They got a little downtown deal. We went in this bookstore, and this man was wearing this mask. And, you know, I don't know if he was sick. Probably not. I mean, he didn't seem sick, but he's been wearing that mask for how long?
Yeah,
3-4 years now?
That's a long time now.
It's like, really? Come on, man. That's his personality now. And he can't shake it because he liked being hidden, right? And that's how he wants to live.
Yeah, or maybe he really does have some sickness. I don't know.
Well, it goes back to the makeup thing. You put on makeup, you look different, but it's not you, right? It's not really you.
No, I see where you're going at it. And, you know, there's something else that happened too. We were going to do this other podcast we recorded and we didn't go with it, but we had this caller. Should we bring this caller up? We were calling an internet company, and we had this caller that had said something to us. I don't know if you want to transition to relationships now, but we had this caller.
We talked about that one. Oh,
yeah.
We may not release that one, huh?
We may not release that one, so we're going to bring it up on this one.
Okay.
You want to start it off and just tell him what this guy talked about, what he said to us?
Yeah. We were buying some stuff. He's like, what are you guys doing? I said, what's it look like? We're doing a podcast, you know? Duh. No. And he's like, oh, you guys should talk about relationships, you know? And apparently he's having a hard time finding one because he likes to open doors and stuff for women, but he said the American women, you know, they may like that, but they don't respect him for doing that.
Yeah, I took it. If I don't say I took it this way, because me and Chris talked about this, but he said like foreign girls are way more traditional and they respect men and their role is what I took it as. So it made it seem like he was saying the United States girls are too woke, in my opinion. They don't want to follow a man. They're gonna do their own thing. So I don't know. I don't know how you can take that, but
everyone here is from another country except for the natives, you know. But the natives are the one with the strongest culture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and people from other countries, you know.
But it was interesting. It was interesting though. Yeah.
Americans don't really understand cultures. They think that they're better than everyone, but you came from somewhere else too, or your grandparents or whatever. So whatever. Yeah,
it was just interesting. It was just a nice conversation we had with them, and it was just a good topic to have at that time. So
your point is go to. You're going to Dubai to find a girl or something.
Yeah. So if you guys need relationship advice.
Not Dubai. Actually, Dubai, man, they're worse than Americans. Oh, they're bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just hear that it's like the fastest growing city, really it is. And honestly, what did it take to get that big, that fast?
Oil, man. It's oil. And they're just going to town. They're so rich. Dubai is so massive. You know, we don't talk about it here because we want everyone to go to Vegas. We want people to go to our stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
Oh, for sure.
But, so before I forget, speaking of that comedy thing, I'm into that stuff. I'd like to get people on here. So Switch does what do you do? Reaction videos for up and coming singers and rappers, right?
Yeah, most of the time. So I have a music reaction channel, All That I Got Reactions, and I've been doing that for a few months now. And it's been doing really well. And the thing with it though, is I like to focus more on artists, that are up and coming. I do react to kind of any genre of music. I think it'd be more popular, but I love independent artists because they're raw. Yeah. So speaking of the comedy. And,
before I forget, I want to do a comedy reaction videos. He does comedy's an art too, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it is.
Right?
It's hard.
It's subjective. You know, if you find it funny, that dry humor, how many views does she have? A billion?
Bobbi, it's a lot.
Millie,
she
Bobbi
interviewed,
Brown. What's her name?
Bobbi.
Stranger Things?
Yeah, Bobbi. Bobbi Althoff, and honestly, I was watching this podcast with her and Shaq, and Shaq was like, Shaq, and he was like, he's like, you got money. He's like, no, I don't got money. He's like, no, you got money. You want people to think you're broke, but you're not broke. He's like, I know you're not broke. So I wonder if Shaq really knows, but so he was like calling her out.
He knows because he knows that many views.
Yeah.
What is that?
She has she has millions and millions of views, and again, for a podcast that's been out for like a month. And it all started, Chris, if you haven't seen it yet, it all started with her first podcast was she was in a bed with Drake.
Oh, well, that does it now, God.
In a bed with Drake, interviewing Drake. And then check this out. This out.
Yeah.
That's what blew her up, right?
Yeah.
A week later, Dion probably knows. A week later, it gets removed. And everyone's speculating, why did the video get removed?
It's all planned, though, man.
Yeah.
Listen, Drake is done. No one buys Drake. Does Drake even have an album, like a new one? Listen, Drake was okay, but you know what Drake was? We know he didn't write his raps, right? You know that. Now, Drake used auto-tune as well. I'm not knocking him really, but he's no Travis Scott.
I don't know. I mean, I would say he's just as good as Kendrick Lamar.
Dion?
I think Kendrick Lamar is better. But I won't. I don't know.
When you're using auto-tune, you're not writing your raps. Who can't do that? Right? Give me a damn rap song. I'll throw some raps down. Harry Mack style. Do you listen to Harry Mack?
Dude, Harry Mack is tight.
I'm gonna drop some comedy on him on you guys right now. I'm gonna freestyle some comedy.
Oh my God!
Huh?
All right.
I might. Now, I don't want to be in bed with Drake. Okay. I can get in bed with my wife and do a damn recording. No.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. You can knock off every scene that Bobbi Althoff did.
Listen, that Millie Bobby Brown ain't that hot anyway, man. And that Stranger Things, that monster keeps coming back, and they don't know what to do about him. So
I don't know. The next season is like delayed, man. It's like it's gonna be another 2-3 years before we see the final season.
So this kid's podcast, I'm gonna help you out. He's got the Stranger Things caption. It says, "What does it say?" Podcast. What does it say? You see Stranger Things in the font in the red, like scary, right?
Yeah. Well, this is all that I got.
What do you think you are, man? A boogeyman slayer?
No, man. No.
But anyway, let's edit that part because it sucked.
Okay.
Okay, we had a little minor technical difficulty. We have 3 cameras. The middle one sometimes freezes, and I'm a big proponent of there's no such thing as coincidences. You can mess up because you messed up, but if that thing don't want to work, we got 2 other ones, and I bet you it's going to turn out better. Now, when it wants to cooperate, it's because it wants to.
It's a lot,
right?
Yeah, it's a lot, and just podcasts in general is just a lot. The stuff that goes into it, much credit to the production team for sure. They a lot. I'm crediting myself right now, but it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Let me finish this. Comedy reactions, bring it on. All right. If you think you're good, I will match you. If you do a comedy, I'll do a comedy routine too, but you're gonna do it first. Because there's a lot of people who think they have talent, but they don't want to. They do have talent, actually. But the ones that go out and do it and you react to, they're not that good. Now, Millie Bobby Brown got those million videos. But see, that's fake.
It's Bobbi Althoff. I don't know what you keep
Well, listen, Kim Kardashian did the same thing. All right? So let's get off Bobby Brown. All right? Jesus Christ. So comedy reactions, this is the place, all right? Get reacted by the master.
All right.
Now, the other thing is, I already said, there's no such thing as coincidences, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now what do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
All right. I'll keep going. So I might be, so I have dry humor, but I'm not getting those many views. What do we do about that and take Drake out of the equation? Seriously, let's talk about how.
So guys, well, we want it. As we build our audience, we're going to be definitely taking in suggestions.
Let's not though, because
yeah.
we do this for fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we got some stuff to.
We have a lot of things that's happening in the background.
Yeah.
And you're going to start seeing some shorts, some lives of kind of the productions that we're not only doing for our podcast, but helping others do their podcasts as well.
Tell them about your idea.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing so we're going to help others do podcasts as well, and we're going to have a mobile podcast unit, and we're going to
and stationary.
We're going to get out there and we're going to record your podcast for you, and then we leave. You know, we come over, we record, and then we leave. So we're going to start filming that process in the background as part of our podcast, so you guys can see us going out and just helping others get their stuff started.
Yeah, again, going back to the talent, there's a lot of people that can just rip on a podcast, but they don't have the equipment, can't afford it. You know, that's kind of how we met. I didn't know what I was doing, you know, with this stuff. Yeah. And I ran in a switch at Verizon. We went over this story on the first podcast. I keep making fun of him about it. But guess what? He's no longer at Verizon. This man.
I quit.
He quit because I went in there and I helped him quit a little bit, right? I was like, let's just do this. And hey, if it's meant to be.
He called me out, guys. Think of this. I'm a married man.
6 kids.
With kids, and this man comes in my job and asks me to quit.
The master came in. Let's not lie to the people.
The master came in and asked me to quit, and it looked like it was my lover asking me to quit.
Yeah, you wish. Go ahead.
I was like, why is this guy so desperate for me to help him?
Desperate? Slow your roll, kid. Listen, it wasn't desperation. It was I saw something in Switch.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And now Switch is an accountant at a big company. And I wouldn't say he's crushing, but he just started. But he came from Verizon. Now he's an accountant.
I did it. But I'm also going to quit that and be full-time in podcasting if it takes off doing well.
You have to. Oh, you know what? Now I can hear you. I didn't hear a word you said this whole podcast. I didn't.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm going to have to.
I messed up, man.
Now I can hear you. I didn't know what you said. I was just kind of talking to myself.
Yeah.
What were you talking about?
I feel like this is like the same thing my wife does to me, man. You know, she ignores me the entire time, doesn't hear anything.
Oh, no, I get it. Dude, no one wants to hear you.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right.
I got you.
All
okay,
right, so,
all right.
yeah. So, yeah.
All right, hey, here's the thing. So we're kind of freestyling today. We don't want to talk to ourselves because we do that enough. We want people to conversate back with us. Let's get on a subject which whoever's watching now wants to hear. We can do that. That's why we're the Master of Nothing podcast. Hey, listen. Yeah. People go, why Master of Nothing?
Yeah, why? Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do this for you. Make your hands like this.
I'm doing it.
Now, the world we spin, right?
You talking to me?
Well, yeah, everything kind of spins like this. You know. Anyway, the flip side of nothing is everything, right? So eventually we keep studying.
All right.
You know, we get more views than Bobby Brown. We then we say we are the master of everything, but we're not there yet.
Yes, and we're gonna have guests. We're gonna invite people. We're gonna do live streams. You're gonna see us, even if you can't come to us. We're still gonna have a live stream, and we'll still be able to talk to you. And that's coming. And continue to hit the continue to hit this, the subscribe button, and drop in the comments. Hey, you guys gotta talk about this, and we'll take those in consideration.
Yeah.
As a new channel, we're gonna comment back faster. So go ahead and do that. But
you know what I hate? I will talk to people like Kim K and Billy Brown. And you'll never get what you want across to them. You know what I mean? You'll never, whatever you say, you're not going to get a response. If you do, it's from a bot.
Well, what would you want to get across to Kim Kardashian?
Me?
Yeah.
I can't say on the air what I want across her face.
All right.
So, what else? What else questions?
I think that was it.
Let's give our new producer a chance. I threw my beef jerky. It's a beef jerky stick. It's good, though. It's got a jalapeno in it. Let me give it a shout out. This is in Meridian.
Wait. I'm allergic to jalapeno.
Hemplers.
And you let me eat one of those?
I made you eat one. They're good, though, huh?
Well, I'm allergic to jalapenos.
Yeah, you shouldn't have ate one. So we'll end it with... hey, we're new, so we're kind of with you guys. The first person who wants to start commenting... We're commenting back to you, and we're going to shout you out. If you do something, get a dialogue going, hit subscribe. Yeah. Maybe you sell cookies. You know, we'll give you a shout out. Maybe you're a Girl Scout out there and you want a podcast. we'll help you out with that too. You got any last words?
I just want to say thank you guys again. Hit that like, hit that sub button. We'll catch you guys in episode 3.
Yep.
And we're gonna get a schedule up soon.
Yeah. We'll get a schedule. This
Yeah.
is a freestyle type of deal, just so you guys can learn our personality and see if you like. If you don't, that's okay. Right.
Peace out, guys.